What's up, guys? So, new build to show off. This is one of the screen printed dials, which I did many of those, so you'll get to see lots of those coming up. So this is a BioHazard style, and I actually have a couple more dials that I just kind of have to kind of design around. This one I wanted to kind of pull that color from those yellows, and it's like brownish green. So we've got a BioHazard screen printer dial. We did a cerakoted in a nice, it's somewhat of a distressed yellow because we didn't apply it as thick, and you can kind of see it in a few spots. In person it looks actually pretty decent, but we didn't do it as thick. So it kind of reflects nicely with, like, you can see some green in there. But we did a nice yellow. And then on the bezel, which is a 110 bezel, as you can see, we did a cerakote in kind of a bronzish color for the base color, and then filled with the same yellow on the accents. Did that same bronze on the crown as well as the caseback ring, and then did the caseback in the same yellow, lasered on it, same as the preview buckle, and did that bronze here in the center. And I had a plan for a strap for this and didn't realize that the strap that I had was a 20 millimeter. So we had to improvise, and I went through all my other straps, and I happened to find this super nice green with hints of yellow, which you can see here, like, almost perfectly matches, brings in those nice greens, and it's distressed itself, has that cool look to it, from Mr. Gillespie over at Wristbound. And we have a Cerakote BioHazard build. So haven't done anything like this in a minute. The other ones that I've done were like the larger BioHazard logo, and often matching Cerakote stainless steel band. So closest thing to that we've done in a minute. But I thought this was too cool and it needed to be part of there. I forgot to mention on the hands. So these were silver hands that I used Ager on, which kind of makes them black, but outside of being under the acrylic glass, you can tell that they're a little bit distressed. In person, they have more of a I don't know how you'd describe it. It kind of has a matte gray look to it, more so than a black. But there's something I was going to say, like, I don't know if there's, when rust isn't rust color, I don't know, it just kind of has this matte look to it, and it's very cool. But you might think that they're black. They're not actually black. If you kind of see at that angle, you can kind of see some little, where some of it's kind of shiny and some of it's not shiny. But those were silver hands. You can really tell at the end of the piece here. And then happened to have a yellow second sand. So threw that in there and it all pulled it together nicely. Matching beads with this. Bezel on this will turn left. It'll turn right. This does not have a very tall lip. It is not going to really get caught on anything. So it should pretty much stay exactly where it's at. This is backside looms. Where's my light? Oh, both of them are over here, because why not? I literally bought two, because every time I need one, it's always in the wrong spot, and then they're both in the same area. So, explain that. So there is your loom on that. Automatic mechanical, you've got a rotor in the back, and as you move, it is moving too. But before you set your time and just put it on, you want to wind it just a little bit, because if you're not moving and you're not keeping that rolling, it will lose time on you because it will stop running. So what you're going to have to do is back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. You'll know you're off the crown tube, as you can feel a little bit of play. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is a turn clockwise as you're looking at it from the side. Turning it back towards you does not do anything, but it is a lot easier to wind back and forth. You're only getting a wind on that front spin, nothing on the back. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, that mixed with your rotor movement will keep your time throughout the day. If you do it for another 4 or 5 seconds, you're going to max out your 31 plus hour power reserve on it, which is somewhere in that 34, 35, 36 range when I wind them up and set them down to make sure they keep time. You cannot overwind it. It has a slipping mainspring, so once it gets as much as it needs, you are not essentially winding it. It's just deflecting. So once you're happy with your winding, you're going to pull it to the 1 and only click, and you can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going on you. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown. It deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement, so when you're pushing and prying, you're setting your time. You're not putting any adverse pressure that way. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 10:12 a.m.
10:12 a.m. Push it over, get it out of that time setting. You can now wind it down. That is your build. Now, I didn't have anything stained remotely close to this, but I just had a nice dark bio box with a plaid pillow in there. As you saw, matching beads, and look at those. They actually match. Not that the beads that I do don't normally match, but like, how do you match that? We had beads that matched it. I've never used these beads that I can remember. But sometimes we just buy stuff, and we're like, one day, that's going to do something. Like this strap. I was like, cool, I like it. I don't know when I'll ever use it. And then today came, and we used it, and it worked. So that's why I buy stuff, and that's why I hold on to stuff, because you never know when it's going to pan out. Build's going to come with watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal, so everything here in the center, non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue, as well as a microfiber. It's also going to come with leather conditioner to keep this strap perfectly soft. If you ever feel that it's not, apply it on the front and back, let it soak in, remove any excess, use a rag or something like that. Do not use a microfiber. And then lastly, but not leastly, you're going to get some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged into these smaller containers. It is like Polywatch, and it's for your acrylic glass because you can scratch it. If you do, just put a tiny bit of this on it and buff it out using your included microfiber. If the scratch is up and down, just go left and right, filling that scratch, haze it, buff it out. It should be gone. If it's still there, wait just a little bit and do it again. You're wanting to kind of let that solidify and then put it back in. But that's it. That's the build. If it's going to you, congrats. I hope you love it. I think it came out pretty awesome. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.